Welcome back to the Manor, Entropians. Julian McBain here, and today we're going to discuss owned land areas. So, on my YouTube channel, someone named Daniel commented that he wanted to know more about owning land areas, and I'm going to be upfront with all of you. I have never owned a land area. I don't know all of the details on owning a land area, but I have spoken to people who do and or have owned land areas, and so I can at least give you the information that they gave me and some of the more nuanced issues that would come up with it that I am familiar with, because they're pretty common to any business you run. Because that's what an owned land area is that it's a business. Once you do this, you have turned Entropia into a job, so just be aware of that. So first off, the initial outlay, cash outlay for a land area is going to be fairly significant. Like, this is a Mithra Outback land number 29, and I think I have this one on my map, so let's take a look. I do. So we can actually visit this land area. Where'd it go? There it is. So this area is actually currently for sale. So we're actually going to visit that, and currently it's up for sale for 80,000 PED. For those of you playing the home game, that's 8,000 US dollars. Whoops. So let's put a waypoint marker on the land area, and that's where we're going to go. So your initial outlay for that is going to be $8,000. Now let's go see what the current status of this land area is, just so we can get a feel for it. Here we are, Oxford. I just want to make mention of something. That is probably the weirdest looking mall I have ever seen in my life. And it's actually called the Deer Mall. And I think that's the road to Treasure Island. It is? Pretty sure. Oh, no. Oh, that's the Mithra headquarters. Genesis. So these are the Genesis towers. But anyway, that's not why we're here. Let's plop down a sleep mirror on a piece of property you can actually sit on. Oh, I didn't even know that bank was there. Or at least I had forgotten. What's this? And there's more apartments. Huh. This warrants further investigation for a different video. Maybe that's something I should do. I should do a video showing off some of the apartments you can get, because there are some cool ones. I don't own one yet. It is kind of on my radar, but there are some pretty cool ones out there. But let's go to a Mithra Outback land number 29. So as you can see, a Mithra is all PvP in the non-owned areas. Landowners can actually choose whether or not their areas are PvP. The general outside area, though, is all PvP, so just be aware of that as you're traveling. If you run into a player, they can shoot you. It is not lootable, so you don't have to worry about them taking your stuff, but it is PvP. As you can see, there's a huge amount of this area I have not explored yet. Whoa, that was weird. Across the server border. Okay, we are now at the land area. As you can see, this one's got kind of a theme of forest or swamp. I'm not seeing that there are any mobs set up for this land area. Let's try to find the management hub, because every every land area has a management hub. You just have to locate it. And sometimes it's not easy. It looks like the owner of this land area did not have any mobs put down. And that might be because they're selling it. They don't want to invest the money into it, which I can totally understand. So this right now would be a pretty decent place for mining, assuming they didn't jack the tax rates up. And we're going to cover that when I find the outpost where they manage the land area. Because every land area, like I said, has a pillar. Looks kind of like the water vapors from Star Wars. The vaporators on Tatooine. And there's my geek. And the owner of the land area, when a player clicks on it, any player clicks on it, they can see all the tax rates, see what the rules are. But when the owner clicks on it, they can set the tax rates and what the rules are. So we're going to try to locate that hub. This place is pretty cool, actually. I mean, it's covered in rocks. It's got a lot of terrain features. It would make for some pretty curious hunting. At least in my opinion. And he's got that little outcrop there too. It's like this random outjet. Boonk. I don't know how MindArc decided to shape the land areas. I don't know if it was because of natural landforms, although it kind of looks to be the case. Like there's this little outjet, and that seems to carry with that outjet there. So we're going to kind of turn this way. And there's the river. So yeah, so a player owns all of the land that you see here underneath us. And so while we look for the outpost, let's talk about what it would take to operate this place. So, talking to landowners, they say they put an average of 2 to 3 hours per day into their land. So that's not nothing. That's pretty significant. Now, keeping in mind that some land areas are going to be more intensive than others, depending on what you're setting them up for. If you want a mining land area, it's going to take less time than a hunting land area because you don't need to seed it with mobs, and we're going to get into that in a few minutes. But basically, the majority of them seem to think that it takes about 3 hours per day to operate their land. And some of these people own more than one piece of land. I'm sure that the more land you have, there's a diminishing cost time-wise for multiple land areas because you can take care of multiple things at a time. But there is a time cost that you will have to do to maintain to make sure that your land area is attractive to other players. So you need to seed the land with mobs so that hunters have something to hunt. You have to set tax rates that are aggressive enough to attract players, but not so aggressive that you lose PED. Right? And then you have to advertise. And what that means is you have to go onto the little terminals that they offer, and I can show those off here in a little bit, but I mean, you've all seen them. People have the advertisements pop up in Camp Icarus on the screens, or Port Atlantis, or wherever you are. Well, you go to an advertising terminal and you pay PED to advertise the land area. Where the hell is the hub for this one? And you have to advertise it. And if you're new, or if the land area hasn't been popular, it can take some time to do that. So you've already got a pretty heavy front-end cash outlay before you can even make any sort of a profit off of your land area. So you just have to be prepared for that. And then you have to be able to attract players to it. And some places are going to be harder than others. Like, this land area is going to be harder than, say, this land area down here, which is, I think this is Big Industries. Yep, Big Industries OLA1. Why? because this one has a teleporter. You don't need to make a run to get to it. Or fly. So that's a consideration. Now you can buy teleporters. Excuse me. And let's see. Calypso. For 75,000 pets, so that's another 7,500 US dollars. Which, on the plus side, makes the land area inherently more valuable. But on the downside, that's another, I mean, for this land area, that's pretty much doubling the cost. So, as long as you're prepared for that, and you're willing to put the time and the effort and the dedication into it, it's worth, you know, it could be worth it. I have the feeling that this only has the most basic of things, but I gotta find them first, which is nuts because I'm pretty sure we've scoured this whole area. I might end up having to go to the big industries one just to look at it, but I wanted you to see one that was actually for sale. We lucked out. One is for sale. It's on sale for $8 grand. I'll be honest, if my wife wouldn't kill me, I'd strongly consider buying it. Wonder where the pillar is. I know they don't take the pillar down when it's for sale, because the one in, oh, hell, what's it called? The one on Cyrene, the pillar is there, even though it's not even active yet. Well, I can't find this particular pillar, so I'm probably going to end up going to one where I know where the pillar is. But just be aware that it's going to be like that for all land areas. So yeah, just, this is one of those things where if you decide to do it, and I'm not saying not to, because I wouldn't do that. If you decide to do it, just be aware of the risks, be aware of the amount you will have to put out to begin with, because it's not insignificant. Is it worth it? That's up to you. There are players who have said it is, and there are players who have said it's not. And the ones who have said it's not because of the PED return. It's because of the time they had to put in. No. You are turning the game you enjoy into a job. And for some people that's cool, and for some people it's not. So, that's pretty much the encapsulation of the whole idea on that. So I'm going to fly back to, since I can't find the damn management center here, which is kind of stupid. You'd think they'd make it easily accessible, or at least findable. Maybe that's the reason they're selling it. Can't even find my own management center. Which I'm sure it's just, I haven't been able to find. Maybe it just hasn't been spawning. Like, this would be the perfect spot for it, but no, it's not here. I thought maybe I just haven't let it render. Jeez. I'll fly out of the land a different direction than we came in, just so that if it doesn't have a chance to spawn before, we can give it a chance to spawn. There was a spot I thought I saw that had a good chance of being it, and I passed it by and I shouldn't have. But if not, we'll go down to the Big Industries OLA1, just so I can show you what a management center looks like. But yeah, so you're gonna spend several hours a day. You're gonna seed the land with mobs. You're going to take stock of what players had hunted the day before and see what your profits were. I would recommend, if you do that, keep a spreadsheet so you can tell what your profit loss statements look like to see if it's worth it. Now, a well-managed land area, according to land area owners, can earn... Oh, there it is. According to the land area owners I have spoken to, if you manage it correctly, you can get your return on your cash outlay within 3 years. If you're super aggressive, you might be able to do it better, faster than that, but I can't make any guarantees. Okay, so this is the estate of the owned land area. This is where it's managed from. So, this is the fertilizing station here. And that's, oh, creature management terminal. And this is, oh. So here you put in DNA. And this is where you decide how many mobs, how, what kind of mobs you go in, how dense you want the mobs, the levels you want the mobs to be, the maturities. All that goes into here. And what this does is then spawns them throughout the land area. And I think this used to do something too, but it's no longer active. This is now the creature management terminal. So this is where you fertilize the land with mobs so that you can attract players to come and play the game. And then I don't know that every land area has a cabin, but a lot of them that I've seen do. And as you can see, this is just no different than an apartment. Apparently they used to give out diplomas for doing mayhem. That's cool. So at least this one comes with its own house. You wouldn't need an apartment then. Well, that was weird. My camera got stuck behind the cabin. It's not huge, but it's a decent sized cabin. And it looks like it's managed by someone other than the landowner. That's a little strange. So this is the land area marker. And here you set your tax. For this place, it's 3.99%. Mining's the same. So 3.99% of all loot from hunting and 3.99% of all loot from mining are going to go to the landowner. In addition, people holding public events can hold public events here. So, and it looks like the landowner doesn't have any issues with that. And here's where you can create events for the land area. This is the... Oh, it looks like he doesn't have any society info. And here's where you can activate whether or not PvP is allowed. So this player has wisely decided to disallow PvP on their land area, which is attractive to players. So this is what a basic owned land area center looks like. I will put a link to the PlanetCalypso.com website that shows you all of the things you can add to a land area. I mean, that you can even customize it to stream the music of your choice. This is how deep you can go in a land area. Okay. But this is a pretty basic one. It's currently for sale on the auction house for Whoops. It's currently on sale at auction for 80,000 ped or $8,000 US dollars. So if this is something that you are interested in, it's there. I am not affiliated in any way with the landowner. I am simply answering a question for a viewer. So now I want to show you what a more developed one looks like, because that was pretty basic. I thought it was pretty good. There's a lot of potential in this land area. If I had the money, I would be buying it myself. But let's go look at one of Big Industries' land areas, because they have put a lot into their land areas. So we're going to head back to the teleporter. There is one thing I want to check out real quick before we go back to the teleporter, because it's something I haven't seen before. Like, I'm pretty sure I've been in at least one of these apartment complexes. I've been through the deer mall. Because you see a mall shaped like a deer, who's not going to visit that mall? Out here, all of these owned land areas are individual islands. People own the whole island. Except for, I think, this one. Nope, these are technically separate islands. Do I have that teleporter? That's a separate teleporter. I do not have that teleporter. Let's get a teleporter. Maybe I haven't visited these apartments before. I visited a similar complex because it has that central lounge area thing going for it. Built-in towers. That freaking cool. I don't know why all of them say that freaking cold place now, but I think that's hilarious. Okay, so we discovered some towers. That's cool. Let's find that little... Whoops. Yeesh, I can't even fly my ship. What is this? Like, I've never seen anything like this before. He-Man 2010 Cult Clothes is a shop? Oh, it's just a location for terminals, apparently. Dressing room. That's weird. Never seen anything like this before. Oh, no kidding. It's a runway. And places to observe from. Okay. Okay. Apparently, they designed this so you could hold a fashion show. That's cool. A little weird, but that's cool. Okay, so yeah, let's go visit Big Industries. And then after we take a look at Big Industries, we'll call it, because we're reaching the limit of my limited expertise on owned land areas. Other than the fact that they're hugely expensive. So let's go to Big Industries OLA 1. So yeah, you're going to seed the, as I've said before, you're going to seed the land, you have to manage the land, make sure the mobs are dense enough for players to be attracted, you're going to include advertisements for them. I mean, this is a pretty well-developed land area here. Whoa, hello. I don't know why the auto turret isn't attacking this thing, but So they didn't include a service center on this one. I thought they did, but that's okay. So they even put up an ad sign where they're advertising all their stuff. They've got a shopkeeper in front that's selling mind essence. That's interesting. Now this is pretty well developed. They paid for a teleporter. This teleporter is $7,500 US to put here. Okay. Beware of gas. Oh my god. And this is the fertilizer station. So this is more developed. They've actually put some money into this one. I thought there was an outpost at this one, but apparently not. You can pay for an outpost to be there as well. Maybe this one has the outpost I was thinking of. We'll just kind of jump around a little bit. So you can do a lot with land area. Club Sweat. I'm pretty sure this is the one I was actually thinking of. And there's the custom music, and it's actually quite loud. Holy crap. Okay, so this one has a drop pod outpost, which is, and apparently a random couch. So this is a 2-terminal drop pod. And this is one of the 3 options. You can go all the way up to the 6 terminal. There's some Longu here. They're really close to the service center and the guns aren't taking them out. That's weird. Like, the gun's right there. Let's see. Are the guns just not active? And I didn't know there was a hangar here. Which is strange. And the hangar's public. Elevator. I've never actually been in a hangar before because they're always private. I know that there was a plan for these hangars at one point to allow like motherships to land or something along those lines. Okay, I think this might be copyrighted, so we're going to end this here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. Guys, hang on. You know what? Let's just turn the music off. Sound. There we go. It was too loud. And it's probably... Oh! They've got an ad sign. They've got auctioneers. Oh, geez. So, yeah. This is local crafter. Oh, it's a crafting terminal. Okay. This is pretty elaborate. I've never been inside one of these before. I didn't realize these hangars had so much inside of them. This is a huge amount of space to customize. Virtualsense.eu. Let's check the televator. I know, all of a sudden I'm going on tangents, but this is pretty cool. Oh, and this just brings you up to the ground floor. And now we are in the tower by the looks. Or something akin to it. Yup, we're on top of the tower. Because there's the radar. The Longu are just insane out here. And for some reason the auto turrets aren't functioning. I don't know if that's by design or if that's just because of a glitch. And that's all there is. Okay, guys. We're going to call it here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. I really appreciate all the support. Make sure that when you subscribe, or if you subscribe, I really appreciate it. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time. So I really appreciate all your support. Guys, thank you so much. You all have a wonderful day.